Hello guys, LJPCBM speaking. Welcome to LJPCBM episode 1639. Now, before we say anything, well, I decided to react to Ghostbusters games and OddGamer again. Well, I have some news to share with you. Last two episodes of LJPCBM, some episodes of the LJPCBM were muted, and some episodes were glitching up for some reason. If you go back to 1613 to 1638, there has been some flaws, okay? There have been muted volumes, and then all of a sudden, some glitches when the audio first and video second on screen flow. That is wrong. So, we got to fix that, and I use OBS for a reason. So, I fixed that, and it was from a YouTuber, goes by the name of, let's see here. I'd like to thank, let me see here. It's not really playing thing. Okay. It's gonna let me, okay, there we go. Joey Lucky Boy Nail on YouTube, and he said it was a video called How to Make Reaction Videos from 10 Steps, and it was a video on what's going on in this whole thing, and I found something, and it was like, it's OBS, and he done that, and it was supposed to be true, and I have some in the past 8 years of reaction videos with ScreenFlow, and it has some glitches on my end. So, just like in 1006 in the beginning of the logo of LJPCBM, so it's been like this since 1613 of LJPCBM, and unfortunately to say this, I have to edit some things with ScreenFlow, so that's just the reason, and I'm getting a new Mac for Christmas. So, and for my second thought, why do you want to do it on hiatus mode? Well, it's because I had to focus on myself recently. So for the matter of times, I decided to focus on get back on that track, doing reaction videos for the day, and just get on with it, you know? So today I react to the redo version of Ghostbusters games by OddGamer episode number 84, like it used to be. So let's react to this beginning in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Thank you.
Wow. Well, it's getting sleepy. Wow. Okay. Small marshmallow, okay. Continue on. Wow.
Oh, gosh.
Wow. Wow, no, wow. Okay. Wow.
Hux? Is that you?
Wow.
Thank goodness you're here.
What's going on?
Wow.
There's this giant marshmallow.
Giant marshmallow? Oh, come on. That's just Mr. Stay from... Wait a minute. I just realized something.
What is it, dude?
I gotta do a scary OddGamer video.
Wow. Gotta do something.
That is terrifying.
It's like, oh, Hokey Wokey been walking around. Continue on anyway. Wow. Wow. Yeah, I saw the Bob Show reviews about it. Go check it out. And he does a great job animating this. The cartoonish style. Continue on. But anyway, move on. Next. Oh, see, it's okay, makes sense.
Why, hello there. It is I, the scary OddGamer, where I can review games that are either scary in nature or in relation. Now, just recently, I had to handle a deadly situation, so it's only fitting that we discuss the dead creatures we all know and love, or in this case, captured. Let's talk about Ghostbusters.
Okay.
Almost everyone is familiar with the spooky franchise. It all started 40 years ago when the original movie got released in theaters. Three scientists, based on their fascination with paranormal research, established a group called Ghostbusters, whose job is to simply trap and capture ghosts and store them into a containment unit at a disused firehouse. Of course, later in the film, a new Ghostbuster is added to the group based on the growing demand. Some of the ghosts they encounter include the librarian, a green blob named Slimer, Zool and her dogs, and of course, the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. The film became a huge hit, racking almost $300 million at the box office and 95% on Rotten Tomatoes. It would then lead to a sequel, 2 cartoon shows, a live show at Universal Studios, merchandise out of the Wazoo, and even theatrical remakes with Afterlife and Frozen Empire. The less I talk about the 2016 version, the better.
Yeah, which is good enough. And it does make sense because I think it's a great movie. I know some people hate it, but it all makes sense in any way. Continue on.
As it's widely known, it's expected to have numerous video game tie-ins. For this review, I'll be looking at the Ghostbusters games that I can get my hands on back when the movies were relevant.
Okay.
But before I do, I wish I had on the proper attire for catching ghosts.
Okay.
Much better. So let's get started with Ghostbusters for the NES.
Okay.
Looks promising with the logo and whatnot, and it was made by Activision. What could possibly go wrong?
What could possibly go wrong? Comment with Bubsy. Watch this remix, be your buddy. Continue on.
Oh boy.
Wow.
While playing as the Ghostbusters logo, you're basically wandering around the city until you find a building that blinks red, meaning that there's a ghost in there. But before you go out capturing ghosts, you have to go to the shop and buy the required equipment. Are you serious? You have to buy your equipment at a store? Didn't the movies already establish that they made their equipment from scratch? Anyway, at the shop, you can buy your beams and ghost traps that are required for catching ghosts. Even though you can hold 4 items at a time, you can still take multiple ghost traps with you. Once that's done, find a blinking building and drive your way to said building. During the driving sections, now is the Act 1, you have to avoid any obstacles like the uncontrollable drivers that result in you paying for any damages. Not to mention there's also a gas meter that's self-explanatory. But don't run out of gas. Please. Once you arrive at the building, you drop the trap, catch the ghost with your beam, lure them to the trap, open up the trap, and time it perfectly so that the ghost gets sucked into said trap. The more ghosts you trap, the more money you earn. After capturing the ghost into your trap, you can go to another building with ghosts in it. But before doing so, you'd have to empty your traps. That means you have to drive to Ghostbusters headquarters and empty your traps before moving on. In order to save time, my suggestion would be to get the Super Trap. Expensive, yes, but at least you'll have to drive all the way to headquarters to get it emptied. In addition to the regular capture beam, there's a hybrid beam with a higher laser stream, a ghost vacuum that lets you suck up ghosts in the street for extra money, and a ghost alarm that detects any ghost activity from a distance. You know, after capturing enough ghosts, it can get pretty boring. Now, as you can see, these ghosts are heading their way to the Zool building, which are not allowed access to yet. You'd think you'd be granted access once the PK meter reaches a certain number, right?
I saw this during the Babe movie. If you talk about the boring jokes episode, it was Superman Returns. Saying wrong. Continue on.
In order to gain access to the Zool building, you have to accumulate a total of $15,000. I'm not kidding.
Yeah.
And then you get a message on the bottom of your screen that says Enter Zool Building.
Wow.
So that's exactly what I do. Notice that there's 3 Ghostbusters, Venkman, Ray, and Egon, but no Winston. Like I said earlier, Winston's always the Ghostbusters leader in the movie. I'm guessing it was used to avoid any spoilers. This leads to one of the key factors as to why this game is infamous. The stairway. Different variety of gameplay, yes, but the overall execution for this level is just awful. In order to navigate the stairway, you have to use the control pad while quickly tapping the A button. Okay, now try doing that for 22 floors while avoiding ghosts. By the way, getting hit by them makes the Ghostbusters fall. 3 times and it's game over.
Wow.
And this leads to the other items that you can purchase in the shop.
Wow.
They include the anti-ghost suit, allowing you 5 hits instead of 3, ghost food that acts as bait for the ghost, and finally the sound generator at $100,000
Wow.
to slow down the ghost in the stairway. Eventually make it to the top floor, oh now they run, where you can finally
throw away. Continue on.
fight Gozer. All you have to do is shoot your beam at Gozer until it's down.
Is that a woman's underwear right here? Hold on. Like this? I don't know. Let's continue on.
Easy, right? Well, try doing that while avoiding projectiles, whether from Gozer or any other dogs. Yeah. If it gets too much, then move down one screen where you see Stay Puft trying to climb out the building. So in a way, this kind of counts as an invisible time limit. But here's the thing though. Anytime you move down, Gozer ends up gaining 1 hit point without any notice whatsoever. Eventually defeat Gozer, which leads to this.
Wow.
Congratulations! You have completed a great game, improved the justice of our culture. Now go and rest our heroes.
Now I saw this on the ABGN episode at one point. It was so hilarious. Continue on.
I know it's actually a mistranslation, but if you think about it nowadays, it can be written by what AI could have been.
Yeah, that's what I expected to see. Terrible game, terrible execution, let's move on. Ghostbusters 2, also for the NES. Is this game any better? Let's find out.
Well, like the previous game, it's also made by Activision. Hopefully they learn from their mistakes. At the stroke of midnight on New Year's Eve of the last decade of the 20th century, America's largest city is about to pay for the nastiness of its inhabitants. When that day comes, when the slime starts to rise, when ghosts are arriving by the boatload, there's only one thing to do.
Swapping.
Wait 5 years. Nah, just kidding. It actually takes place 5 years after the first movie.
Wow.
Apparently, from what I've heard, two-player mode plays the same as the classic Super Mario Brothers.
Wow.
After a threatening message from Vigo, the Ghostbusters ride down a pole to the first level of the game in the subway station down by a slime river. I just started this game and already it's better than its predecessor. Even though the Ghostbusters shoot slime instead of using their proton pack, at least you can still defeat ghosts, as well as these Ghostbuster icons in which you can gain extra life if you collect enough of them. And regarding the game's control, pressing B makes you jump, while pressing A makes you shoot slime. Couldn't they be switched? Pressing up,
Well, difficulties in there at home.
pressing B makes you jump, while pressing A makes you shoot slime. Couldn't they
Yeah, it was a jump and shoot buttons when the switch part. B is... It's a little different. Let's continue on.
be switched? Pressing up and down on the control pad changes the direction of the slime gun, and there's no way to pause the game at all.
Wow.
You have to
It's like, for example, Mad Blaster and Remix just said, can I pause this game? What? I paused the pause button. I got a game over? I want to pause the game, not a game over game. It's 2017 difference. Continue on.
fighting the obstacles along the way. So yeah, all you gotta do is reach the end of the level without dying. Plain and simple. Oh, whenever you get a game over, Vigo escapes the painting and wreaks havoc on New York with slime. There's also
Wow.
levels where you drive the Ecto 1 while avoiding obstacles and shooting at generic looking ghosts. Oh, and try not to get slimed either.
He slimed me.
One of the hardest parts of these levels is trying to get by these large holes. You have to drive by these flashing speed boost arrows and jump at the right time to make the jump. Otherwise, you're falling straight into oblivion. At the very
Play it one more time.
arrows and jump at the right time to make the jump. Otherwise, you're falling straight into oblivion.
I'm sorry, that joke never gets old. Let's continue on.
After venturing through City Hall, Central Park, and the subway tunnels again, the Ghostbusters then take control of the Statue of Liberty. Just
Wow. Call me a monster. Continue on.
like the movie. Oh, and fun fact, did you know that the Ghostbusters used an NES Advance controller to do that?
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, Nintendo was huge back in the day. The way the enemies move kind of feels like Galaga in a way, and I swear that controlling the aim of the torch only works when it wants to. I guess there's a certain power-up that allows you to do that, but yeah. Eventually make it to the museum where Vigo's at. Just do the same thing you did at the previous levels 4 times, and watch the Ghostbusters defeat Vigo via slime. Yeah, there's no boss fight in this game.
No.
That's disappointing. The game ends with a newspaper as we listen to an 8-bit rendition of Auld Lang Syne.
Well, at least we're getting on the right track. It's not as bad as I thought it was, but it's still better than the first game by a long shot. But we still got one more game to look at, so let's end it off with Ghostbusters. on the Sega Genesis.
Wow.
Even though this game takes place after the events of the first Ghostbusters movie, you'll notice that Winston is nowhere to be seen in this game. Personally, I don't get it because Winston has already joined the Ghostbusters by the end of the movie, so why remove him here? But anyway, you do get to pick your Ghostbuster. Out of the three, I guess I'll choose Venkman. After hearing about a recent earthquake, it turns out that ghosts have been wreaking havoc around the city. As always, it's up to the Ghostbusters to stop it all. Well, we have a map screen that has an option on where to go. They include Home Sweet Home, the apartment, a woody house, and a high-rise building. In each level, you have to explore each area while defeating enemies along the way, as well as finding stacks of money for more income. Oh, and you can also climb ladders and even swim, which is something I've never seen the Ghostbusters do at all. If you want to finish the level, you have to defeat the middle ghost and then the boss ghost at the end. After defeating the middle ghost, you can then capture a Slimer ghost into a trap. At the end of each stage, you earn money based on how many ghosts you captured. With the money earned, you can spend it on one of two shops, one for items and the other for weapons. Some of the weapon upgrades you can get include explosives, a 3-way shot, shields, and energy tanks among others. As for the items, you can get a gyoza or a peking duck to refill your health meter, bombs, and finally the infrared scope. More on that later. Home Sweet Home is a nice beginner's level that lets you get used to the basic controls of the game. While exploring, you'll come across a silk hatton, a headless yet
Wait. He was head.
dapper gentleman with a creepy orange rabbit with a fork on.
Wow. Fox. Wow. Rabbit fox. It's not even fork. Continue on.
Knife at hand. After defeating the headless man, he has to defeat a disembodied rabbit head and body.
Wow.
And of course, defeating that unleashes Slimer, which you can then trap. Eventually, you fight the first main ghost boss, a pineapple-like onion with eyes and claw-like teeth.
It's like a book or something. Hey, where's the book?
Voice attacks and shoot away or throw bombs at it. Eventually, defeating the onion lets out a strange piece of what appears to be a stone tablet, but grabbing it ends the level. Look at this little bit.
No. Gang.
But it turns out it is a piece of the stone tablet. What is it, you may ask?
Wow.
Maybe in the next level at an apartment.
It's completely frozen.
Defeat some ghosts while also swimming, as well as two middle ghosts, a crystal robot that can zap lightning, and a floating siren that can clone herself 3 times. By the way, I love the design of the next ghost boss. A snowman with multiple creepy faces. How cool is that? So far, no answers yet about the stone tablet. Inside the wood house, it's dark. But unless you have the infrared scope with you at all times, there is no way you'll be able to see. Oh, and avoid the fire at all costs. It's only when you encounter the middle ghost and the boss ghost when the full level illuminates. Speaking of which, you have to fight a fire dragon, a fire giant, and a stone face on the wall, all of which must be defeated. With the ghost detector going critical, could it be that this tablet is the main power for collecting all the ghosts? But more importantly, where's the last piece of the stone tablet?
I have no idea.
Why, in the high-rise building, of course. Like in Home Sweet Home, you'll encounter tablecloth ghosts and haunted appliances. Also, every so often, you'll catch a glimpse of Mr. Stay Puft, whether from a window or his arm punching through a wall. After defeating a shell beast and centipede, he'll then make his way up to the top floor. It's here we can fight Stay Puft. Just simply blast away at him while avoiding fire blasts and lasers from his eyes. Eventually, Stay Puft goes down as the final piece of the stone tablet is retrieved. Oh no! The other Ghostbusters are missing! What do I do? What do I do? Well, Venkman does find a note that says to bring the stone tablet to the old castle outside of town, signed by Arthur.
Oh, wow. Wow. Arthur Reed, by the way, ladies and gentlemen.
No, not that Arthur.
Love Arthur. Give us a break.
It turns out that Arthur used to research ghosts many years ago, but disappeared after finding the tablet. Seeing that the tablet is related to recent ghostly activity, Venkman then makes his way to the castle. It's here where he finds Arthur, as he now holds possession of the tablet, but tells Venkman to look for his friends himself. After Arthur looks for a church bell to ring, he explores a castle filled with skeletons and haunts galore. Not only must you defeat marionettes that possess the remaining Ghostbusters, you also have to defeat a slime worm, the Grim Reaper himself, and oddly too, I mean the insect trapper. Defeating him releases the skull of Arthur, assuming the plant ate him. And yeah, I know that Rick Moranis, aka Louis Tully, starred in the 1986 remake of Little Shop of Horrors, but then again, so did Bill Murray.
Wait. Rick Moranis was in High on Sharky Kids. Sorry, Remix. Watching this for you, boy. I'm watching. It's for me to watch it, but you're gonna be sick and barfing to watch High on Sharky Kids. So, There you go on that. And Bill Murray, okay, makes sense anyway, because I love How to Train the Kids. Continue on.
Totally starred in the 1986 remake of Little Shop of Horrors,
Wow.
but then again, so did Bill Murray.
Wow.
Anyway, they finally recover the stone tablet, but a giant earthquake creates a hole in the center of the city. And it's here where we find out that the stone tablet is actually a seal to the world of evil. All because they placed a red jewel called the Eye of the Flame. However, Egon believes that placing a jewel called the Storm's Calm should close the corridor forever.
Wow.
This leads to the final area of the game, the Deep Hole.
Wow.
The overall level looks great in my opinion. In fact, all the levels in this game look really good. I should point out that the middle ghosts are the same boss ghosts you fought in the previous levels, minus Stay Puft. Eventually run to the final boss of the game, Janna, the Lord of Death and Destruction.
Wow.
And would later transform into Chaos from Sonic
Oh,
Adventure
wait. She's the Wicked Witch of the West. Different.
the 1. Also, is it just me, or does she look like the girl in Pinball Action? But
Wow. Okay, now, yeah. It was the same reaction she was doing, or she like a, Darius Witch. I don't know.
she does transform herself into, get this, Bazuzu.
Wow.
I'm not making this up. Anyway, you defeat her by shooting her eye in the middle, but defeating her first form transforms Janet into a flying skeleton-like monster.
Wow. Skeleton like eyes.
She can still be defeated the same way, though. Eventually, you do defeat Janet, releasing the Storm's Calm Jewel, which they place on the tablet. This causes the portal to close and therefore save the city.
So after getting to play these games hands-on, what do I think of them overall? Eh.
I still believe that the NES game is the worst out of the 3. The overall game is just a boring snooze fest because, need I mention about needless repetition? All you're doing is drive around the city, capturing ghosts along the way. I get the idea and all, but it's executed very poorly. And even then, this stairway is one of the worst things about this game. Having to dodge ghosts while trying to traverse a giant stairway is tiring in its own right. And yeah, the ending mistranslation is memorable, but for the wrong reasons. At least the other two games were handled much better. Ghostbusters 2 on NES feels more like a game unlike its predecessor. Better graphics and level design, better control, somewhat, and more variety of music. But out of the 3 games I've played, Ghostbusters on Genesis is the game that I would personally recommend. Original concept, yes, but it definitely captures what I think a Ghostbusters game should be like.
It's like a duck. Continue on.
Exploring each level, capturing ghosts along the way, as well as ghosts that serve as boss fights. That alone makes it really interesting. Now, I know that there are other Ghostbusters games that I really wanted to get to, like Ghostbusters for the Sega Master System. While it plays the same as the NES version, at least it's handled much better in my opinion, especially the stairway section. There's also tie-in games based on both cartoon series. The real Ghostbusters for Game Boy is pretty much a Crazy Castle clone, and Extreme Ghostbusters for Game Boy Advance is a standard 2D side-scroller in which you play as one of the Ghostbusters with driving sections to boot. Next, there's Ghostbusters the video game in 2009 by Terminal Reality that would later get a remastered version by Saber Interactive and Mad Dog Games 10 years later. I'll say that for another time. And finally, there's Ghostbusters Spirits Unleashed, based on the newer Ghostbusters movies, not counting the 2016 version. Though it did get a tie-in game, which I heard is bad if not worse than the movie was based on.
Wow.
Hey gamer, have you finished the review yet?
Just about. Anyway, what's up?
That Puff guy's heading our way right now.
Don't
Wow.
worry, Hawks. I got this.
You got
Gamer.
this, gamer.
Gamer. Gamer. Gamer.
Alright, Puffy. You may have handled the Ghostbusters, but you haven't handled anything by the likes of the Gamer Buster.
Gamer.
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 Marshmallow.
Got it. Ready?
Gamer. 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 Got this. Yes.
Whew. Well, that should take care of Mr. S'more for now. But I'm sure he'll come back.
Thanks, gamer. You really are a hero.
Thanks, Hawks. So that concludes another Scary Odd Gamer. So until then, I'm the Fairly Odd Gamer, and I wish you all good luck the rest of your day or night, wherever you are. Take care, everyone.
Great job you have been being good games. destroy all monsters. Now sleep in English. What do you want?
Oh, pardon the interruption, but please kindly support the channel over on Patreon, along with the likes of Luke Jeffers and Scarlet the Hedgehog. Okay, but seriously though, why must this ending be so poorly translated?
So, thank you. Thank you. So that was Very OddGamer, episode A3, A4, smoke anyway. Ghostbusters games. What do you think about this episode? I think it was amazing. So far this episode was a success. And hoping this time, this audio needs to get fixed, and hoping this audio, needs to be generated like it did last episode. But anyways, guys, that was the LJPCBM episode 1639. Hope you enjoy it. Stay tuned. Next going to be LJPCBM episode number 1640, which will be about Bossy Buddy. Episode number 73 redo on the Legend of Bonzi. I hope we get to thing fixed, but no more glitches, no more difficulties in my end. Hope we get things glitched up. Till next time, so Ghostbusters, baby. Go LJPCBM. We can soon say out. See ya.
Given unto me this life I'll never take for granted, and given all the time I failed to really understand it, I never sought to meet the maker of reality, the one who gave the life that which is always happening, but I tried all the time. I ask, why me? Why was I the one to see things as I do under the moonlight and the sun? Perception is the question, and the giver holds the key. But the only worth I've ever found was in melody. I still try.